Welcome back to the Built Right Industries 2021 F-150 build. I'm Matt, and today we're going to continue outfitting the interior using our Built Right Industries seat back MOLLE panels as well as some underseat storage. We've got a pile of accessories that we're excited to experiment with from other companies, and I'm kind of hoping that that's going to give you some ideas on how you could outfit your truck based on whatever it is you need to do with it. So let's go check it out.
What is up, guys? Matty from Built Right, back with our F-150. Today we're going to be throwing in the seat back MOLLE panels. I have two right here. I have a small pack out kit that we're going to throw in there, a couple of pouches, and a few other things to throw on the panels. Let's jump into it. So I have a boxed up seat back MOLLE panel kit for the F-150 here. Gonna go ahead, pop the box open, and show you guys what's inside. To start, you're gonna get a broken out hardware kit. It's gonna include our headrest mounting blocks and some assorted nuts and bolts to get you going. You're gonna get an upper bracket. It's nicely wrapped in paper, branded. You're gonna get a lower bracket. And lastly, you're gonna get one of our university utility panels. Don't forget, sticker, thank you card, read a little bit about us.
We all right over there?
If you happen to be a not F-150 owner like myself, we do make these for GMCs, Silverados, Tacomas coming soon, Broncos. Am I missing any? They're coming for more trucks, patent pending product. In addition to our seat back MOLLE panel kit, we have our Packout mount kit, sticker, thank you card. We're doing a small Packout mount kit, so we only have two of our Packout brackets and some hardware and the latch base. Just laying some hardware out here so we could install our upper bracket. A little bit about our seat back MOLLE panel kits. By far the best thing on the market when it comes to mounting stuff on the seat back of your truck. Right now we see a lot of people using things that use straps or bungee or like all this stuff that's really not meant to hold or bear a ton of weight. We're doing all metal panels, we're doing all metal bracketry that ties into the seat. You can still recline your seat fully, you keep all the functionality, and you get a really nice surface to mount stuff to protect your seat back if you got kids kicking and things like that. It just really sets our product apart. So they go ahead here and install the headrest post, little CNC machined pieces here. Max and I were just talking about the safety features of the panel, or if the panels make your vehicle more unsafe. It's an interesting conversation, one that comes up a lot in the aftermarket, and what I had said was I'd rather a rigidly mounted product that's mounted up with nuts and bolts rather than something that's elastic and bungee. You know, guys, we see a lot of our customers mounting up tools. We've seen guys make workstations out of these. A lot of guys are throwing firearms on the backs of their seats with these, whether it be with Santa Cruz gun mounts or another type of mount. Some guys are using quick fists. Those are heavy items. I've seen people mount them up to the panels that are using elastic or bungee, or in a lot of cases the panels themselves are plastic. I can't imagine how dangerous those types of things become in an accident, or even if you're just off-roading and bouncing around a bunch. I'd much rather something that is a little bit more sturdy, built out of 11 gauge steel, like I said, bolted up to the actual seat.
Okay, as long as your gear is secured and as long as you are then secured in the vehicle, there should be no movement. No,
I mean
jostling
that's the point. Like, we do pride ourselves on securing your gear the best for whatever you're doing. Whether you're going on a road trip with a couple of buddies, whether you're going off-roading, overlanding, like this is what we do. When we had Grant here, he was talking about going on the road with his car, and he was talking about the bedside racks and even the seatback MOLLE. It just being like a totally different product and a way for him to be able to bring his tools and everything with him without without totally like ruining the usability of his truck.
Yeah, he also just stressed the fact that normally things are just sliding around, you know, and that's kind of the case for most folks who don't even consider a storage option.
Yeah.
But for those who want to treat their vehicle as well as they can, and just it's a good standard to hold.
Yeah, you don't want things bouncing around, sliding around. I spend a lot of time in the woods. I spend a lot of time fishing. So if I'm going away with friends to go backpacking and fishing and stuff, I end up having a lot of gear, and the last thing I want is my backpacking stuff or my climbing stuff sliding into my fishing rods and snapping a rod or doing something like that. I used to always have a first aid kit sliding around in the back of my truck, and now I keep one on my seatback MOLLE panel kit.
Cool. So bottom brackets in.
Bottom brackets in.
Top brackets in. And that's another great thing about this kit is that it's really a simple, straightforward install. We're bolting in, as you guys can see, Maddie, 2 bolts down there into the seat structure, and then the headrest blocks with the upper bracket. The upholstery goes back just how it should. And here's the trial and error, just making sure it fits up.
Tighten her down right there.
Cool.
Yeah, and the install on the seatback MOLLE panel kit is super similar across the different types of trucks. Most of these seats are built in a super similar way. We end up using the features that either parts of the wiring harness use or just open features in the seat, and we'll bolt through them, or in this case we use panel nuts, which are really, really nice. Yeah, alright, that'll be good. Alright, so now that this is all cinched down and good to go, we'll throw some gear up on this panel, and this one will be ready to mount up.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Alright, so we're back at the bed of the truck, about to set up our MOLLE panel for the driver's seat. I have this Arctic little pouch to go on there, and we'll also be mounting up the Packout. So just trying to figure out the configuration and how we want things right now. That could be about where the Packout goes. And this could be where our Arctic pouch goes.
And we might even want to put them on different sides too, if it does make it harder to come up to take off the Packout. But
yeah,
I definitely, they don't have to be on the same panel for sure, but
once you slide this up a little bit though, it'll come off like there. Probably slide it up and pick it up. We'll see. We'll try it.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We might have to mess around with it, but luckily the panels for the seat back come off so easily that reconfiguring your panel will not be an issue. But we also have this large pouch that we'll be throwing on.
We talk a little bit about it in the Packout video, but it is a lot nicer to install these Packout mounts off of the actual bed, or in this case seat back, it's just a little bit easier. So go ahead and do that in this case.
Yeah, and as you guys can see, these won't fit into the full MOLLE feature. You have to install them through the slot in the block and slot pattern, just because of how the spacer interfaces.
Oh yeah, that is the one downside to the Packouts. The spacer uses the panel, so you're not going to be able to use MOLLE nuts, which is just a part of the product. But the other thing about the Packout mounts that we haven't really talked about yet is that you don't necessarily need to be hanging them only on MOLLE panels. Hang them on your garage walls, do whatever. The product will work.
Yeah, I can only imagine you take your brackets, you take the spacers because they're essential for mounting up your Packout, and then you use some wood screws. It's easy.
Just a note with all of our products, if you're going to use an impact, don't go hammering away. Almost nothing is worth absolutely jamming nuts and bolts on, unless you're doing like lug nuts.
Yeah, we don't need over tightening, and I think it's Decked who has in their packaging. So
Yeah,
slow down, Torque Boy.
Yeah, the deck packaging is good.
Fun.
But I mean, I'm sure that they, with their molded plastic product, like, probably not a ton of fun when they got warranty something because someone decided to take a Milwaukee half-inch impact and absolutely send it home. Yeah, this weekend doing some backpacking up in the Adirondacks.
Nice.
Hopefully get some fishing in. It's funny, I came back from my trip, last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and we were talking in the office about like what I was doing and if I had figured out any fun uses, bedside racks or tech panels, or thought of anything to do with universal utility panels. And those weekends, motorcycle break. Those weekends just highlight the reason why Beanon came up with the bedside racks, because I got my stuff to go backpacking, fishing, climbing. This weekend we might do a little bit of caving, which will be fun. It's like, when you're living an active lifestyle, it is a lot to bring with you.
Yeah, whether you're a weekend warrior and you always need your gear with you, or, I mean, I talking to the guys up at the construction site, they're hearing about our products thinking, oh, this is perfect. I can keep the shovel and the implements that I always have with me in the bed of my truck. And so, I mean, whether you're a weekend warrior or you're a contractor or landscaper, you like adventuring or just having your stuff locked down, it's crazy.
I like keeping like a decent toolkit with me wherever I go, because I always find myself needing it somewhere, especially when I don't have it, as we all know. A little bit of Murphy's Law, but just being able to keep like wrenches and sockets, wrenches and a socket set with me all the time, been game changing.
Alright, that looks pretty sweet. Lined up.
Yeah, let me just grab my Allen key and my wrench.
Sweet. So looking at how this lines up, the Arctic pouch is pretty close to the Packout, and to take off the Packout you're gonna have to pull up a little bit. So I don't know if we're gonna keep both there, but you might put a quick fist or a riser above it.
Definitely room for a quick fist.
Yeah.
Up on this row of slots or on this row of MOLLE.
We know we'll want to keep a flashlight or something else that probably has a handle on it sideways. So we'll do that and put the Arctic somewhere else. Let's see the latch. Fantastic. Locked in. Cool. So we're thinking right up there, probably this orientation, but
We're gonna put a flashlight in this, right?
yeah, we'll do some sort of something nice to put in there, but
Which way do we want the light mounted up though? Vertically? We do it vertically. We'll keep it horizontal. We can always change it quick.
how long is it? Because if it's sticking off the edge of the...
Pretty fun.
Okay. I don't know specifically what the Milwaukee one's like that we're putting on, but as you guys can see, Milwaukee runs deep here. It's at the top too, which is important, so easy to get to for sure. That looks fantastic.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen the seat back MOLLE installation guide, I will link it right up here at the top right. Click on the little eye and you will be led right to it.
Unless YouTube changes that feature, in which case you'll be confused.
Which is not uncommon. There's so many videos nowadays that people are just pointing to random parts of the screen like, click right here. Nothing going on.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
Let me go grab my flashlight.
Alright, Maddie's going off to get the flashlight, but for right now, I get to check out this Packout mount. So look at how good that looks on the back there. So accessible, really easy. Just use the latch here, pull her on out, and you're left with the mount. Very cool. Let's see, one-handed reinstallation using the camera. That's fantastic. Really simple, smart design right there. And they make those thin half Packouts, so that would allow for more clearance for any passengers, any knees that are going to be back here, but that looks really sweet. Okay, so while Maddie's running in there, I wanted to mention to you guys that we are not only installing the seat back MOLLE panels, but we are installing one of our tech panels. So we offer two sort of tech options. We've got the tech panel and the tech plate. The tech plate is what it sounds like. It's a metal plate, it's very rigid, and actually that's what the seat back MOLLE panel uses as its main component. So instead of a tech plate, a tech panel is this Velcro solution. It isn't Velcro, Velcro is just a brand, but this is hook. So this is going to stick on your seat, just gently throwing it there. It's pretty sturdy, so I'm gonna be putting this right on the underside of the seat. It holds a lot of weight, and there's a ton of flexibility for different accessories, pens, knives. We've seen people mount sidearm holsters to this, frankly. I'm going to be putting it on the underside of this rear seat here. Nothing too complicated, nothing too crazy. It's just a really simple, sturdy solution to any vehicle that has this carpeting, something that the hook interfaces with. And once you know that you have this in your car, which almost every single car on the market does, you can use this product. You can mount up your gear to pretty much any vehicle, so it's a great universal product. Oh wow, that's nice and bright. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
On the other side.
Sweet. That means we're putting this large pouch on it. We might put a first aid kit in addition. We've got fire starters in here. I know Matt will be camping a decent amount, and we want to make sure this thing's outfitted for camping or, you know, trapped in the woods or something. But all right, Maddie's almost got the upper headrest bracket in.
And then we will be moving to the lower, just like we did on the last one.
It's funny, I think about what you told me too when I started here is that even though it doesn't seem like it, every vehicle is kind of meant to be torn apart, and each piece is really accessible kind of for a reason, for a manufacturing ease standpoint, but it helps us, but it's definitely meant to be torn apart.
Yeah, I think that, like, for me, I used to be a little bit more hesitant to really, like, dig into vehicles, especially ones that weren't mine. And doing this and getting some experience with digging into an OEM, like fresh off the factory floor vehicle, has certainly changed that for me.
Yeah. Oh, not having to work with rusty bolts and parts, there's something special about that.
Might have to do some adjusting.
There's always a little bit of trial and error with making sure slots are lined up. If you're patient with it and you give it the time of day, it'll fit perfectly. There'll be no rattling, no creaks, no nothing. We're going to do the Arctic pouch on the top, large built-right pouch on the bottom. For now, soft goods only going on this panel, so we are mounting the panel up immediately and not putting any metal accessories on beforehand. As you guys know, with all of our products, make sure it fits nicely before you tighten anything down. That should be the same with anything. Screw them in loosely, get it all situated, and
It's a good rule of thumb.
Alright, I'm just realizing we never showed you guys what this looks like with the seats down in the back. So here is the seat back MOLLE on the front seats, and honestly, I've sat in both seats. I'm 5'10", and there's ample legroom. The Packout actually works pretty perfectly because if you mount it in the center, your legs can kind of go on either side, but I'm a full-size human. This is more than enough room for kids, for emergency backseat seating. It's definitely not going to be too in your way, depending on what you have mounted up.
Alright, so that's it. We've installed the two seat back MOLLE panels in the F-150. Threw a couple of things on there. We did a pack out, quick fist with a flashlight, a large pouch, and then one of those Arctic pouches that are pretty cool, something a little bit different. That's of course what we've put on ours. The options are kind of limitless when it comes to what you can put on. Like I mentioned earlier, we've seen guys put full workstations. We've seen guys mount fishing rods, tools, all types of things on their seat back MOLLE panels. Don't be afraid to try something out. If you have questions about something, reach out to us. If you're thinking about it, there's a chance someone else has, and we've already helped someone through the issues that they're having. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out for a little bit. We're moving on to the next one.
right, so at this point we've got our interior pretty well set up. We just installed the Built Right Industries seat back MOLLE panels and our under seat storage. We've got them loaded with gear. It's looking great. In the next video, we're gonna put a couple of finishing touches on the interior, and then we're gonna get into the exterior of the vehicle. So again, if you've got comments or feedback, leave them in the comments. Shoot us an email, Facebook message, whatever it is. We'll meet you there. We'll see you in the next video.